Hi, all of our AM fam. This is kind of the first round of the amateur musician interviews that we wanted to do. Um, my admins agreed that they thought I should be the first one to be interviewed. Thankful for that. I can kind of see where they come up with that idea from. So yeah, I'm very grateful to be the first one to go ahead and do this interview thing. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First question is, do you have any hobbies or interests outside of music? I have many hobbies that I like to do. I like a lot of woodworking. I like home renovations, painting, all kinds of things. So being that I work in maintenance, we do all kinds of things, from electrical to plumbing to whatever the case may be. I've always been one to tag along behind my dad when I was growing up, no matter what he was doing. So even mechanics, we do, myself and my kids, we do most of our own car mechanics as well. So yeah, all kinds of hobbies and interests outside of music, but of course music is my big one, my getaway from the everyday, which is kind of why I started the group, was to find a place for just regular folk like us to just share with each other. And you know, we're not trying to make it big, we're not trying to be famous, we just do it for fun. And I'm so glad that there are so many of us who kind of see things along that lines as well. So next question, what or who inspired you to get into music? Obviously my dad was a big one. He played guitar when I was growing up, him and my uncle. So that's kind of a lot of the music that I still play today is the stuff I grew up on. I really like the older stuff. Again, a lot of it could be that it's just really simple to play. But yeah, that's kind of, I listen to all genres of music, everything from literally the old country music to blues to I was a 80s hair band fan, you know, during the time to the Guns N' Roses. I've always leaned more towards the ballad side, or the lighter side, the acoustic versions of the heavier songs. I'm more apt to listen to than the really heavy stuff. But again, I will listen to just about everything. So my biggest influence is probably, besides my dad, and when I started playing music on my own, everybody that knows me knows I'm a huge John Prine fan. Even before he passed away, but even more so since he passed away. I love any music that tells a story. So anything from John Prine, Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt, the great storytellers. And I think I show a lot of that influence when I do a lot of their songs. But again, those are kind of my influences and where my inspiration comes from when I do this. Next question, how would you describe the music that you play? I think I kind of wrapped that one up with the last question, but again, anything that tells a story. I love being able for people to be able to actually see the story going on in their heads as the song goes on. Everybody interprets things differently, but a good story is a really good way to promote a song, and you know, those are my favorites, as you all know. What instruments do you play? Mostly guitar. I have started collecting a few other instruments. Honestly, I just don't have time to delve into them, but I have a couple of auto harps, I have a bass, I have a keyboard, I have a cajon, so like the wooden box drum. I have a banjo-guitar, which is a 6-string banjo guitar combination. I picked up a fiddle recently. Yeah, I have all kinds of stuff. Full set of harmonicas. Basically, those are kind of the aspirations of wanting to get into that stuff later on. But for now, majority is just guitar. Electric and acoustic. You see a lot of acoustic in my playing because it's easy to just pull a guitar off the wall, start playing, instead of setting up with chords and, you know, and all all that fun stuff, and hauling out the amps and plugging everything in and setting your settings and changing it for each individual song you want to do. It's just as easy to pick up an acoustic and just rattle off a tune on that. So, how did you learn to sing, write, or play? Well, I mean, definitely I didn't learn how to sing, but that just kind of we wing it as good as we can. Some days are good, some days are bad. Write or play. I started playing guitar when I was probably I was late when I started. I was probably in 18, 19, almost 20. I've always been interested in it, but I never ever learned from my dad. I'm not sure why, but whether he just didn't take the time or whether I didn't show the want at the time. But I've always been interested in it, and learned to play just before I turned 20, in that vicinity. Right, I've written probably 5 songs. That again you can probably find. I think I've probably posted most of them onto the group before, but in my time so far, I've written 5 songs. I've rewritten many that I'm sure most of us have that aren't supposed to be performed in front of other people, especially younger audiences. I've always been a fan of the Weird Al and the others who do the parodies, and it's nothing to literally rewrite a song as it's being played to you. I can literally come up with all kinds of things, but again, things that you can't play in front of an audience. So let's just say that as far as writing, I've probably written 4 of my 5 songs within the past couple years of participating in the AM group. One I wrote when I was probably about 22 or so. My brother-in-law put the music to it. I wrote the words, and we just kind of forgot about it. It just stayed in kind of the back of my mind for a long time, and I finally a year or so ago recorded it and put it on my YouTube channel. So yeah, again, kind of spread out writing. I like the writing aspect of it. It's not something I ever thought that I would be able to do much, but yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of the 4 or 5 songs that I have done. Yeah, so next one, where have you performed, or if you haven't performed in public, is it something you'd like to do someday? I have performed in public. I've done it a few times. Myself with my daughter, once with my son, and my sister has performed with us a few times as well. We have performed for my work, the seniors where I work. So again, it's we've performed a couple of hour shows, free to the residents. It was just something we decided to do on our own. I have myself and my daughter have performed at our company Christmas party for my staff that I work with. We've done that a couple times, and every time I head down east and go back home, my brother-in-law and I usually get together and spend probably 2 or 3 separate days just literally playing music. That's he's the one that actually taught me to play when I finally learned that I wanted to, and we kind of relive all those memories every time we get a chance to get together, and it's usually kind of a non-stop musical adventure. Can last for hours, 8 or 9 hours, and never play the same song twice, and go back and do it again the next night, and again never play the same song twice. So yeah. So I have actually performed in public. My sister and I have done plenty of karaoke things as well too, but I mean, I don't consider that literally playing in public. I will do karaoke. I'm not a fan of it. I much sooner sit and play my own instrument. It's much easier to try and sing along with than a backing track and background singers that you're not sure what key you're supposed to be in. So, how has music affected your life? Has it been a positive influence? Of course, it has. This is what I use as my getaway. Whatever happens during the day at work, whatever happens going on in life, sometimes you just have to take yourself out of the game for a while Go sit in my music room and just crank out a couple tunes. Even if you don't really record anything, if you're having an off day, just sitting there and playing it puts you in a complete different zone. I would almost consider it to be almost like zoning out of reality. And I think that every one of us needs to do that as kind of a reset from, life is hard. Life is hard, especially in these days. So it's good when you can actually just get away, do your own thing, put yourself in that space. And, I really believe that music is a healer no matter what's going on. You can change the course of not only your day but your whole outlook, just by taking some time and just spending some time playing some music, listening to music, listening to others perform music. That's one of the great things I love about the AM group, is there's such a variety of players and such a variety of genres that you're never going to get bored, and you've always got something to listen to, and you can literally get lost for hours, just going on to the group and getting wrapped up in all the performances. So again, thank you guys all for doing that and being a part of that. What brought you to this group? I was actually the one who started the group, which is, again, I consider that one of my great accomplishments. Now seeing how things have progressed since I started it in, I believe, September of 2018. So we've been going for 5 years now. It's, again, I'm blown away by what it has turned into and what it has blossomed into. I really believe, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased on the group, but I really believe this is the best one out there for keeping everything on a positive note. We want to promote people to be themselves, to have fun, and to learn. We all want to learn from one another, and we all should be those role models for each other that we would all want for ourselves. So I hope that somehow I do my part in that as well. I mean, I hope, even if it's the ability for me to dig up songs that people have either never heard before or haven't heard in so long, they're going, oh yeah, man, I haven't heard that one in like 40 years, and where did you find that one? And I hope that we can continue to be an influence on people, to help them learn, to help them grow, and obviously, it's the AM group is a very, very big part of their journey, and I hope they decide to stick around, and I hope they really enjoy their time there. Yeah, I guess that's the simple version of that. What were you hoping to get out of the group? Obviously, I was looking for. I spent a lot of time looking for a place where you could share music, just being everyday Joe Blow. Not looking for fame and fortune, and I couldn't find anything out there along the lines of what I wanted. So I started the group for that purpose, and I wanted to keep that. I wanted to keep that the simplicity of it. We spend so much time looking after people that pop in there because they want to be, they promise you digital creations. I'm going to make your album cover for you, blah, blah, blah. No, the whole purpose of the group and what we want to maintain is it's everyday people who just want to do it for fun. People that are looking for fame and fortune, there's so many avenues out there you can take. Just when we sign up for the group, when we have people sign up for the group, literally, we want to keep it as simple as possible. Just your run-of-the-mill everyday people who just want to play. We do our best to maintain that, and I've actually had people who have contacted me and very angrily wanting to know why they can't, ask people to sign up and do things for them, or why they can't promote contests, why they can't, I'm going to make you famous, and I think there's people on here that I'm going to make famous. No, if the people want to choose that route, they have the ability to go down many other avenues. there's a reason it's called amateur musicians, and we're going to stick to that, or I'm going to stick to that principle. And I'm hoping that with everybody who joined, knowing that they understand what it is all about, and maintain the integrity of the amateur musician part of the whole thing. So, what have you found most valuable about the group? The people. The people, the people, the people. I have made so many connections. I have made so many friends. I consider most of my friends that I've gained from this group to be family, pretty much family. I spend more time with them than I do probably a lot of my own family, considering I live on the other side of the country for most of mine. But the relationships that have been built from people in the group, seeing the collaborations that are done, and seeing literally, I can't tell you what it means to me when I see a handful of people from all over the world who met through this idea that I had, and seeing a group of them perform together in the collaborations. I feel so overwhelmed by that. So yeah, the biggest thing the most valuable about the group has been the people, and the relationships that I've seen built because of it. What is it about music that makes you feel passionate? I really can't explain that one. It's anybody who is passionate about music is passionate about it for their own reasons. I again grew up listening to my dad and my uncle, pull their dusty guitars out and sing off key. But you know what? It was fun, and they weren't pressured, they weren't ridiculed, they weren't anything. I love the fact that you don't have to be a superstar to be able to play music. You can pick up a guitar, you can pick up an instrument, even if you've never played it before. You can make it sound like something, and something inside you snaps, and then all of a sudden you have found a passion that you didn't even know you had. So by all means, if you play one specific instrument, don't ever stop at that. Just continue. Just pick away. I constantly go to secondhand shops, and I'll find things that I probably had no interest in before, but if it's something you've got a few extra bucks and you can pick up, go ahead, learn it. Learn, anything you can learn music wise is going to be a benefit to you, even if it takes years to learn it. Don't get discouraged. Keep it up. Keep that set of harmonicas sitting up on your shelf for 5 years before you take them out and see if you can play it. The fact that you have all kinds of different things to play around with, just keep that. You're going to find passions along the way that you didn't even know you had, and it could be something completely off the wall that you could find you're just amazingly good at. It could come natural. So don't ever be discouraged by just trying to keep that one thing that you can play, or you've decided you're half decent at. Keep learning, keep growing. Just keeping on. What is the best thing about playing music? Again, I think we just kind of went over that with the answer for my last question. Music. There's I don't know what it is about music, but what I will tell you is, everybody has good and bad days, but there's just that one time where me personally, I will. Most people know that I'm kind of a one-take guy. I'll set it up and I'll go, mistakes and all. I really don't care. Amateur, remember. But once in a while, when I'm done recording that and I hit the playback button, it's amazing that I will sit there and I go, that was awesome. I'm so proud of that one. They're few and far between. But I say, when you hit something like that, some days you're just in a groove, and you can't explain it. you just know when you have a day like that. At least I do. Um, are there areas where you would like to improve or learn more? Obviously, I'm always trying to improve. I'm always trying to learn. Again, like I want to learn all these other instruments and things that I've purchased over the years. Whether it be, if I just, even if I don't ever use them for performing at all, just actually learn how to play them. Singing, I'm my own worst critic when it comes to singing. I think we all are, but I certainly don't have much of a range when it comes to my voice, and I've learned to accept that. So I pick songs and things that I know I can that are kind of in my wheelhouse. That doesn't stop me from trying things that aren't, and you know what, if it's something, even if it's something that literally will make me laugh when I'm thinking about it and listening to it afterwards, it doesn't discourage me from doing it. So yeah. What are your goals? I don't have any goals musically. I would like to perform a lot more. Well, no, I won't say I don't have goals. I do. One of my goals is I would like to someday, over time, I would like to actually meet a lot of people like from our AM group. Whether that's the ability to travel, whether that's the ability to ever set up an AM convention. We have tossed that idea around a bit. Things are getting tougher out there. People don't have the ability to travel. They don't have the funds to travel. So, I mean, that's kind of it's kind of always been a dream, whether it comes to fruition or not. But I would like to gain the ability to travel and to meet as many people along the way from our group as possible. I think that would just be the ultimate thing. Would be to sit down and play live with a lot of friends from the group. That is one of my goals. So yeah, let's say that is one of my goals. What was the role of music in your early years? Again, my dad and my dad and my uncle playing. That was kind of what I guess where the desire started with me. I thought it was just cool how, I mean, my dad could pick up a guitar and play a song that I'd only heard on the radio up to that point or off a record. So that was a lot of my earliest memories are of just mom and dad sitting around listening to records and old tapes, things like that. I still love to do that. If I'm sitting at the table, if I'm doing whatever, I've got my Spotify fired up and I'm listening to my playlist on Spotify. I try to look for as many new ideas as possible for songs to do. My YouTube channel, I have over 1,200 videos on there. A lot of them are repeats because, I mean, over the years, obviously, I've done some of the same ones over and over again. But that's quite a thing. I'm always looking for new things to do, or at least new to me. It may still be old stuff that I find, but once in a while I'll happen upon a song that, man, I didn't even know that existed until I heard it on an old channel somewhere, and so those are the really fun ones for me when I find stuff like that. Are you from a musical or artistic family, and how often do you practice or play? I wouldn't consider it a musical family. I mean, we always had music or radio or something going on. Again, my dad played. I wouldn't consider us a musical family. But as far as how often I practice or play, it varies. I mean, I obviously have a room set up to do this, but a lot of the times in my household, my music room becomes a storage room for things that just have no other place. And there's times that I just literally cannot find the time or the effort to get in and do that. So when it comes to practice, I don't really practice a lot. I guess most people know me as one take. I come in, I set up the camera, I grab a guitar, and we go through it in the first take. And if it doesn't work, so be it. So practice, not a lot of practice. I don't even really practice different takes on a song unless it's horribly bad. I will admit that I've done that a few times where, and I'm the same as everybody else. You can run through a song a couple times, and as soon as you hit play, then you forget the words, you forget the chord changes, you do something happens, which is why you probably won't find a video of mine that doesn't have some kind of an error or mistake in it. And you know what? I'm okay with that. So, what is your favorite song, band, biggest inspiration? Again, I'm going to go back to the Storytellers, the John Prine, the Guy Clark, the Townes Van Zandt. Those are my three biggest. In my teenage years, it was about the time that we had the big break in country music. It was the Dwight Yoakams, the Randy Travis, the Alan Jackson, the Travis Tritt, the Clint Black, Joe Diffie. That was a big thing around my teenage years. Again, those are a lot of influence, a lot of stuff that I play these days too. So yeah, that's kind of. I will, if I have to pick one as a favorite, then it's obviously going to be John Prine. There's just something about his ability to tell the story of the common people, and to be able to basically write a song in the perspective that you swear he's swimming around inside your head. Those artists are few and far between, and that's, again, I loved anything that tells a story. He just has so many songs that do that. So, is there anything else you'd like to share about your musical self? I think I've pretty much wrapped up the majority of what I consider my musical self to be. I'm really glad that a lot of my children are learning music as well. So a lot of them play instruments. Unfortunately, the older ones are growing up and kind of doing their own thing now. So we don't get together and do things as often as we used to. But yeah, I guess one thing I would like to see for myself, or I would like to aspire for myself, is maybe set up some local jams with some local people. I don't want to see anybody's dreams or aspirations being wasted. I would much sooner that, if there's a way that people out there can get together and share their talents with each other. Yes, we do that on the group. We do it lots, but there's something intriguing about being able to perform live with other people. It makes a huge difference, and that's kind of what I look forward to. I really like playing live with other people, even though it can be a scary thought, because you don't know if you're going to jive with their style. You don't know if you're going to, even personalities. Like, you really don't know a person until you sit down and spend some time with them. I'm sure that, and again, music is very good at bringing people together. I really hope that someday we can, a few of us can sit down and just, I think that would be one of the best jam sessions that I would ever want to be part of. And I'm hoping that there are other people in our AM group who feel that way as well. I'm hoping that the AM group has done for others what it has done for me. It has not only given me the confidence to actually put myself out there in front of other people to, and it's very difficult to I'm not sure if I can find the right words for this, but it's very difficult to put yourself out there in front of other people. It makes you very, very vulnerable, which is a word that I'm sure a lot of guys today don't want to use, but it is very true. There's not another word that describes that any better than vulnerability. So, yeah, I think I've used up quite a bit of your guys' time. This is quite the quite. It's turned into an actual a half-hour interview, which I hadn't planned on. But I'm very grateful again for all of you guys who participate in this group, for everything you bring to the table. Um, Continue to do that. Don't ever shy away. Don't ever be discouraged. Don't ever think that your talents aren't good enough. Um, Everybody is equal in this group, and everybody deserves to be listened to. Everybody deserves to have that stage to be able to play on without the ridicule, without the worrying about what other people are going to say. Freedom to be themselves. Um, yeah, continue to do that. I will continue to do my part to make sure that this group maintains its integrity from what it started as. Um, I want to thank, again, I want to thank my sorry, I literally had a phone call in the middle of all of this. I really want to thank my admin group. There's no way that any of this stuff could be done without them, without their help, to the extent of what we're looking after now. So, again, like Julie, Paul, France, you guys are just amazing to work with, and I couldn't do this without you guys. So, again, thank you to everybody involved. Thanks for taking your time to listen to my ramblings. Just thanks. There's not much other way I can put it than just thanks.